Sunshine Monet, ayy. With the affirmations to enjoy your day with. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The netters are my battery. I got my discipline. My soul's come from within. Chakra grounded in the cosmic infinite. Nagas through my currencies flow through ligaments. Another netta instrument. Manifest me dividends. I'm on my mastery. Self-doubt is blasphemy. I'm the God I ask to be connected to my astral being. I summon other beings, all facets of me. Magician part my meaning. My purpose is the alchemy. I am numero uno, Raishi on my mind, lion's mane, big on sumo, Babalao aligned with Pluto. We kick back like judo, karma licking back from Pluto. Heart on a feather, that represents my new growth. Trusting me is crucial, the God in me a do show. I'm bigger than your economics, politics, and Google. My omnipresence is the true show, all the world is stage. Allow my authentic self to be the sage. Fumigate and parasites all up in my space. Cause I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than indoctrinations. Naga's rising cavalry. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than the situation. Nettas are my battery. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The nettas are my battery.
You already know the vibes. Naga here. Before I kick off this session, get your graphic designs, advertising, and promotion with me. Email me. Information is always in the description. So if you want to get your advertising, graphic designs, and promotion, depending on the package you get, I'm throwing in incentives, right? So make sure you email me today and get an upgraded incentive. $75 a day, $250 a week, $850 a month. So you do the math on that. Make sure you contact me as soon as possible for your advertising, promotions, and graphic design needs. Okay. All righty then. You already know the vibes, yo. It's good. Everybody, it's been 1 minute. And they ain't been recording lately, man. Like, I ain't woke up either. Yo. Like, I was gonna title this like, cause I wanted to build. I was like, yeah, I wanted to title this like, high level conversation or whatever, right? Not gonna lie, high level conversation. I should do it, right? I should do it. Let me see. Naga the Wise. High level conversation. Dang it. Dang it. Okay. Conversation. All right. All right. So look. Yeah, this is why I don't never show my face because I be laughing and shit too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I be laughing, so I'd rather just show my icon or whatever. Like it'd be funny to me, like a lot of things that I think and say. So I don't be want to show my face all the time. But you already know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Add to the stage. I did it wrong. Hold on. There we go. All right, so it's Naga the Wise, high level conversation, right? We're going to talk about today is particular understanding that I think it goes over everybody's heads is why everybody's like trying to see something, but there's always a plan to a situation. Hold on, drinks coffee. All right, so even with like people who read for you, like they read cards and they always trying to see into something, right? See into something. You know why it's important not to watch the situation take place or have a radar-ish mentality attached to the circumstance that you're trying to bring into fruition. It's because it's coming out of thin air, literally. And this is why people say things indifferent to the term that represents the Almighty. Like divine is almighty. That's in every single aspect known and unknown to man in creation. It takes patience and separation and sacrifice. What do these things mean? You start taking one term too far, and I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this for nobody. But then you learn that you get the opportunity to do it for people. All right, so what is all this really entailing? It's based off the value of you moving out of your way so what you're trying to manifest can manifest by itself. Every time you think about it, every time you put a thought on it, every time you say you know, you're interfering with the unknown. See, the words itself speak to the value. When you think you know something, you are taking that projection of frequency and you're sending it out, which is going to the placement by magnetism. It's by itself pull. So it's going to pull itself because it's stronger than you. So as soon as you speak it out, it goes exactly to where you want or where that thing you're trying to have obtained is being created in the ether. It goes right to it. And that line of symmetry, that particular line of energy that's creating this physical understanding, it gets chopped right there. Because you're observing it, it starts to fall into the quantum physics understanding. It's like, all right, so why is this quantum aspect of reality playing a role? Why do they even speak on it? Do they comprehend why they're speaking on it? What's the functions of it? Why is it even relevant to life itself? Well, if I gave you life to experience, I wasn't trying to have you go out there and make the experience. I wanted you to see what it can do. See, it get like it's the simplicity of everything that kind of I think it boggles everybody, like how simple the life is in its full exact. You think you have to do things to make this happen when in fact you were supposed to be. So why is that even a short term of retrospect when it comes to the creation or creations of anything that you're supposed to experience? So that means I'm putting you there to be an observer. So I got to have a bunch of shit going on for you to observe and experience, right? So what division in that mentality aspect said to you, all right, now you got to come out of what you think you're doing right now and do these things in order to obtain anything that this world has to offer? Who put you through temptation like that? Who did that to you? It's a real deep question. Like it's a real deep thought pattern-ish type of mentality to travel down. Like what put you in the mind to think that made you think that you had to create these values of experience? Like it kind of flies over everybody's head. So once I understand, right? Once I understand and I comprehend that I was just supposed to observe. Now I can get out of the way of whatever I'm trying to experience, right? So the thought pattern is a mental synapses of electricity that goes from one point to the next. It goes from where you are in existence to creation. It travels all the way out there, super fast, speeds that we cannot comprehend, right? It goes way out there. When it goes way out there, it starts to build or create the building blocks for the idealism of the thought that you had, particularly to a value. Only you come in between those thoughts with thinking on it. Now, the divine is going to create anything in its full experience to the best value for you specifically. But when you start wanting additives, right? When you start wanting it to come in this time. You want it to come in this shape. You want it to look like this. You want this person to know. You know what I'm saying? All these different things, you start to interfere with the value of its creation. See, this is the focus. This is why it's quantum. Like, so when you observe the creation of the value, you literally, it stops going through a quantum creation. As soon as you look at it and you're locked in this, oh, I know it's coming on this day. I know this is what's going to happen. You literally push the reality of that to the side where you can't see it. Like, it goes all the way out of your peripheral. Now you can't see it, so you can't observe it. So that's the world over there now that's creating the value of what you wanted. Now, it might have been close to everything, but you can't. You want it so bad, just pop up somewhere within your lost something to this person. Like, these things start to speak to the value of your opposite level of creation. And it doesn't even really matter about what the circumstance can be. It can just be any insecurity that you carry, any fortuitous thought that you carry that you won't let go of when looking at something that you want. It's like, instead of just believing that that's for you or that's your creation, you want to like monitor it and shit. You want to look all over it like it's going to change within 2 seconds. You want to control some shit. Like, all these different attributes have nothing to do with observing the experience. How can you control it if you are just supposed to live through it? Why would that even be a thing? That means you're scared of the other possibilities that may take place. Like, you really have the power to stop something if it just was going to happen. You don't get that. You don't get that as a reality. Like, you're not just going to stop something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's supposed to happen, it's because it's supposed to. So you're not going to stop anything. So trying to adjust the value of how these things play out is something different. But what we can do to ensure that things like that don't play out is stay within the frequency. The frequency level is what ensures that certain things are going to take place. If you're at a low frequency, you're gonna magnetize all that value sooner or later. If you're in a higher frequency, it's gonna be full. It's gonna be filled with that level of protection, understanding, and life-growing energy. Because high frequencies bring life. They bring experience, more creation, right? So that's what it explains. If you go to the other side, you deal with more of the dark and dirty, the muddy, and the unseen. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that you really don't want to deal with. So what does this really sum up that I'm talking about? When you want to bring stuff into manifestation, what's the frequency? Divine perfection. Nikki C. Wagwan. So supreme. So the sum up of the value is, if you want something, right, instead of trying to draw it out in your mind how you want it, speak on it with confidence in yourself, right? Don't make it complicated. Never overcomplicate one thing. Let it go. You're going to be posed with so many times that it's going to make you want to speak towards something similar to the value, because it's tempering you, it's testing you, it's trying to make you fall back into the natural way that people speak against their greatest values. So you'll be eager to say it, like, oh, I got this going on, I'm about to do this, and da 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 da. When in fact you're not supposed to. You got to let it build in the universe by itself. You'll know when it's time for you to speak, because it'll be completion. Completion is a full circle. When it's a full circle, it's already made to be what it's supposed to be. It's not going to go and change again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let it come into fruition. That's like saying, let the food get done before you be eating out of the pot type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this the problem. And this is why they say people don't have patience, because you're not willing to wait to see how far or how long it takes for things to manifest. Right? So once you understand that you see the pieces are coming into fruition, you're always going to get the pieces because it's going to tell you progress for that circumstance. It's going to show you progression within the circumstance that manifested out of nothing. You're going to see that as a progress. You're going to be like, damn, all right, that's moving along right there. All right, so while it's moving along, say nothing. Speak nothing of it. Don't even think about it. Treat it as if it ain't real at that point because you've already given it. The point is to let it manifest. So if I keep opening up the oven for the cake, this shit gonna get flat. It's gonna drop. You see what I'm saying? I can't keep watching it. If you watch a pot boil, it takes forever for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these things, we know that they work like this in the reality, and we can't change set energy that's naturally in this formulation. What we need to do is comprehend these frequencies that take place, so therefore we can start learning how to let manifestation happen. Like, everybody wants to manifest and don't really understand the probabilities of what that even looks like. So this is your universal understanding. This is a higher level conversation that you're having based off the communication with the universe, not with everybody else. It's literally your personal connection to the universe. So then that means it entails within that action that you learned to pay attention to the higher forces where people don't even know what that conversation looks like. So it states other capabilities within yourself when you're doing these things. So it's like, all right, I see you can listen now. So you're not going to turn around and open it up to a normal pathway that we would normally handle things in a certain retrospect. Nah, I can't do that because I just learned how to communicate with the universe. I learned how to pay attention to the progress of what the universe is telling me. I learned how to put these things in order. I learned what each message meant according to the action taking place. So what do I have to say? Nothing. I have to keep learning this because I'm 3 levels above what I knew prior to me even comprehending the frequencies coming from the universe. So now, once you can get these newsletters and you see progress taking place, what do? You let the manifestation multiply in a quantum aspect. What does that even mean? All right, quantum keeps it going to different, it'll go in all directions, all L's, everywhere. Just every direction, pointing everywhere. As soon as you observe it, it comes to a singularity and locks into one. But if I leave it alone, will all those directions that it flew out, will they solidify to? See, it's just a question, and ain't nobody even telling you what happens to the after fact when they say the quantum. They just sitting there like, yo, as soon as you observe it, this is what takes place. All right, so what if I don't look at it? Do all those so many versions of that creation manifest too? Do they solidify? Well, let's try. In real time. Let me shut my motherfucking mouth. I ain't gonna even tell it to my goddamn self. Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. No, sure don't. No, not yet. Should I even make up something just to put in that space just so you will believe what the fuck you want to believe? Because you know what? That business ain't for you to think about. I don't want that universe in your world, in your mind, because your mind is volatile and you might mess around and send frequencies to something I'm trying to really create. How well do you love your protection energy? How well do you love your universal energy? Are you really holding on to it? Or are you just waiting for a gap to let that shit flow out? Now I'm listening to the universe and acting as I'm listening. I'm the student in the class, mastering what it looks like to do this shit in real time. All praise due to the Most High. You got to be willing to fight for yourself and stop looking for things that actually collide the value. No, it's the point of you really learning to pay attention to the divine. We're not going to talk this shit forever. Talking came after the fact of we having the action to have telepathy. That was a higher version. I can send a thought to you and you knew what the fuck I was talking about. Now you talking. You don't know what's coming next because you take it for granted. So I better learn right now everything I can on an unseen language that's trying to connect to me, leading my first thought to put me in the right situation, knowing it's all high vibrational. But if I'm not paying attention to it, I'm talking it to death. That means I'm talking it away because ain't no action to follow. So that's a conversation and an action. That's solidification. That's a conversation with the divine within motion and then solidify within the action and watching it come to fruition with nothing. True self-mastery with the action and a conclusion. This is not for everybody to know. Even if we get the knowledge, it's not to go up and say, look, I can tell you something you don't know. That's why I said this is high-level conversation. Only few going to get it. They're going to know how to pocket size this real quick. Almost like I showed you the 2 for 5. Nobody didn't know that shit was real. Like that. All praise due to the Most High. Things got to change. And the only way it's going to change unless you comprehend the frame, the main frame of it. It's never going to be the value of looking at it and saying, yo, this is what this is. Nah, because you're observing it. So people wonder why the knowledge don't really stick. You're too busy watching it. You're watching it while you're teaching people. Nah, you're supposed to cook. A conduit connects to the divine, period. Ain't walking around with nothing that you can trace to that value. It's literally a connection to a connection. So if you're a true conduit, you're going to connect at any given time with nothing. With nothing. And that shit going to flow out. And somebody going to be able to pick that ball up and run with it. The baton race. All praise due to the Most High. You got to start thinking how the universe moves. It's a fact, because that's how the energy comes from the divine source. That's how it comes out. So if I'm going to receive it, I got to learn to run patterns in the football field, catching the ball. You know, like you watching football, like you got to learn to weave patterns so you can catch that angle catch. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have to dive and catch that ball. You got to learn. So how I'm going to go in the universe and catch knowledge in a particular way that's not particular to the way that the universe throws it out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different information for everything, but you think you're going to handle it like a normal notion. It's not a normal notion to handle it. It's only the way. And it's only one way. Should sound like it sound like Fist of the North Star or damn what's the dude for that movie? Oh man, so I tip my tongue. As I tip my tongue. Oh man, shit. When it was like there was like there will only be one or something like that. I can't remember, but that's the point. That's the point, yo. That's how you really manifest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't gonna do too many bills on that, but something told me to specify. It was like, yo, go drop manifestation again and specify. High level minds. You know what I'm saying? People too, like, you gotta keep in mind, yo, like the world got everybody wanting to be in the spotlight. That's why it's not gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for a lot of people to actually truly really manifest. Like you could play around in the mud, so you're gonna get dirty, but that shit can get washed off your clothes. But if that's the excitement for you to the value of a accomplishing some form of a mental standpoint that you perceive as manifestation, I guess have at it. But true manifestation is life sustaining. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, like you got to look at things in a different way. Like we talking about pulling in celestial power, yo. Like we talking about pulling in celestial power. I'm gonna do a bill soon, but I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm actually working on the scripts and all that. So I got a bill coming that's gonna be fire in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just putting it together for the transfer, so I can speak to the transformation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you already know the vibes as far as that's concerned, but you got to look at manifestation as its directions from the divine. You know what I'm saying? Once you understand that manifestation is directions from the divine, and then look at the word, it's great. Like look at the word man, nah, man, I, fest, feast, ation, in progress. Man, I, fest, feast, station, in progress. So manifestation is works in progress, it's action in progress, it's man in progress. In progress of what? Man, I. They didn't say man, eyes. Man, I, meaning the connection from where you are to the universe. So where your eye is connected, that middle part where your torus feel at, that's the main center. That's the command center. That sits in the head on the pedestal above the neck. Above the shoulders, called the neck. So the pedestal that's in the brain, called the pineal, is the command center, which gets all the true information, but then it's processed before it hits you or after sometimes, so that you don't really comprehend it. So now you're trying to fight to understand what divine's saying to you. So the man I feast is eating all off the universal frequencies and downloading that shit. It's living because that's the true food that it feeds off. In progress. So now in progress, meaning it has the power to bring forth any creation. It has nothing to do with the two hemispheres of your brain. It has nothing to do with how you feel in your body. All those other things that interfere with the man I festation, the in progress, it comes from the lower part of the body. Literally, it comes from the lower part of the body. Everything that blocks you from manifestation has everything to do with the lower part of the body. The head sits on the neck, right? The shoulders is the lowest part. It's your center of gravity. Peep game when I'm telling you. Center of gravity. For a man, the center of gravity is in his shoulders. For a woman, the center of gravity is in her hips because she gives birth to a baby. So she has to bring the baby to the center of gravity. Center of gravity. Why is the man's center of gravity at his shoulders? Because the neck is a pedestal that holds the head above the ground. It's a fact. It's a fact, Joe. I don't make this shit up. It's just what it is. Are you comprehending what they're telling you? Or are you just saying it and looking at it in ways that you want to feel comfortable with it, lack thereof really using brain functions? So you got to comprehend this and know that this is what it's telling you. But every time you think you know, you think yourself away from the process. You literally make it weaker. See, silence has a level of strength if you understand where to be silent at. Pete, what I'm saying to you, silence has a level of strength if you realize when to be silent. It's a fact. And for the most part, people think it's something to study. You can study me, right? And think, well, mastering the way I do things will make your life better. Well, I did a bill on this already too. Like, everybody in the world has a dope ass attribute with them. It's something with them that's next level, right? In its own way. But if you don't unlock that and you don't care to unlock that because you focused on other things in the world, then you kind of doing the world and the light that's giving you a disservice. Like, you literally saying, I don't care about the light I got. I'm about to go mess up somebody else's shit. Think about that for a minute. Like, absorb that energy. You don't even care about the divine light given to you by the almighty creator. You don't care about it. You're not saying, dang on, I got light the way I can live. I can feel stuff. I used to be perfect. I ain't had to worry about feeling nothing. Now I can feel stuff. It's deep just like that. But then you realize that it's a responsibility for growing this situation that you're given to increase the value. That's because it's something better for you when you go back once you came. How much have you done here to increase those values of what you are inside of you? That came with you when you came into fruition. And so you get a chance to go back into the big downloader Just imagine this as a cartoon. Everybody's spirits like the end of alls. And all the spirits get this reality check and flesh just burn off you, but it don't hurt. It's like somebody turned off the synapses to it. And now you in your light body. And now you got to follow this path in your light body to the main source downloader. So you go to the main source downloader and you got to put your chip in for all the experiences and how you lived. And there's no way you can like alter this. There's no person in there that's going to say, hey, let me give you a better choice life, like the choices you made. Let me make this better for you so you can go up there and be. There's nobody going to be able to sell you a good chip. Okay. Like it ain't happening. So you got to go put all your truth in the download and divine be like, yo, why you made these decisions? You could have did anything else. Like you had your own light the whole time, but you chose to be a block for other lights. You chose to do these things. Like you chose to take on this title. And even though it was stressful or extra, or whatever, you still chose to run those fades. How you think that's going to turn out when that's the equate of all your energy and action? All your energy and action follow the same criteria. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about this. If you've been doing this your whole life, it's on the low. You think because you've been getting away with it, nobody's seen it. Nah, that's all in the download chip. They got stars and asterisks buying because you don't want nobody to know. That's how they work over there. Like they get more attention because you don't want nobody to know. So it'll be better for the value of your life if you just started walking in righteousness, because that just shows you failed, but you ain't intentionally do it. You walking to learn, and your actions state that you're going to do better anyway. That was the key. The righteous walk was the key. It was showing you that's how you save yourself, by striving for righteousness. But then you still got to turn in your power chip. You still got to turn in everything you did. When you turn that chip in and that shit go down in the system and they watch your movie real fast and they be like, yeah, nah, this is intentional right here. They're like, yo, they intending to lie. They just went to seeing the dark angel around the corner before they got in this line asking them because it was a way they can buy or sell their chip or something. And they was like, nah, we don't do that up here. I should call the police. I should call the spiritual police on you right now. It's funny. No, it's funny. But that's the point. How funny is it that divine gave you a spark to have life and experience and manifest anything with no blockages, no fear, just literally bring the world to you. And everybody has the same option to do this. So this is why it's easy for them to sell the value of a simulation to you, because you can literally simulate the reality that you want and experience that with all the power of the divine. That's what you can really do. But if I make you believe more than that, and I got you connected to some VR cables in a fucking chair with glasses, and you looking off and don't gotta move, and you can live the world you want, why do you think they came up with that? Because that's really what you were supposed to be doing as an original being. Not being a part of some cables to do that, but doing that naturally with the power of your mind. See, telepathy kept us connected to the value of what we can do with our mind. They broke that apart so you wouldn't go farther to the next levels of what the mind capability is when it's in the right understanding. They're like, I never let you know that. What you need to know that for? We'll lose you then, because you can just change the reality of what's taking place. We start talking about how things look and how things seem different in this area or whatever. Don't you think reality shift? That shit ain't got nothing to do with no damn VR cables. That's like the weaker version. That's like level like 0.0000000. It's like all the way down there, like as far as value. Like it don't even matter. But yeah, you can simulate this, and it's you that's experiencing. If you bring yourself to a low enough understanding to where you can see, like everybody is right now, we can see everybody. We see everybody doing where they're going. That's because that understanding equates the value to be next to the understanding of having it to be solidified by viewers. So you need people around to validate your life. And without people, nobody sees your life. Once you free yourself and put yourself back in the universal understanding, it starts to become fewer people that you deal with. You know why? Because you're literally living in that frequency. Only few get to tap into that frequency from time to time. And what you're understanding is that the fact of how the divine energy is flowing through everything, you can literally flow with it and watch things create right in front of you. And while you're creating these things, you can see every possibility of energy that's for it and against it at the same time. They can smile in your face, and you can literally see that the frequency it's carrying is not to allow the flow to continue. You can see that the frequency that's in certain things have a different color, a different wave, and it's coming into your path, and you understand what your frequency is. And then you're like, dang, that's not supposed to be here because it's going to do something to my forward motion. Divine don't make these mistakes. He's like, yo, as long as you stay close to this energy, everything you're capable of doing is going to increase 10 times. People are going to try old things that's not going to manifest the value, and you're going to see straight through it like a weak-ass video game. See, that's why the difference is always going to be solidified to the fact that you really put in this effort, because if you really do, crazy shit is going to happen to you. And it's important that everybody unlocks their own, because your existence is important. Like, to see someone else do it should motivate you to see what you got in your box. What's in your grab bag? When you become that version, what's in yours? Because it's going to be different. You're in a different existence. Nobody can stand in the same space where you're standing at the same time you're standing there. So we do a disservice when we don't go deep enough within ourselves to unlock these things and to have the privilege to pay attention to a higher source. Listen to me. Have the privilege to pay attention to a higher source and follow that. Nah, but if you think you know better and you think you can do better here on the surface, well, you'll stay here showing everybody what that looks like. And keep in mind, if they got to see it, that means they can't be it. See, it goes back to the first conversation as far as the quantum. The quantum is going to recreate it in multiple directions. So that's without you observing it. But what you got, when you got to see it, you got to see the results. You don't see the results, because you got to see it. You got to be a part of it. You have to observe it. So don't observe nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. That's why divine says conductivity puts us in the right place to be at a stronger energy. When we're all just working together in a forward motion, not even thinking about that shit is crazy. It's like some of the best energy ever. But when it's by yourself, you think nobody else exists in that forward flow. It's like, damn, people don't move like this. You can tell by the questions, how the energy comes. You can tell it's not the same. Like, yo, I see. Because if you were, you'd be on the same shit I'm on. Like, nah, it gotta go like this. It has to. And Divine will scream it at you. Like, you'll know it before you wake up. You'll be like, dang, I knew that shit already. Like, Divine be screaming it at you. Like, make sure, like, this is what you're doing today. This is what you're doing today. Do this. And that little thing might be for a point. It might become something big that you got to do. That's for a point. This is the reality to it. All praise due to the Most High. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just trying to show you something. Naga.